Welcome to Pathways of Hope. The message of the gospel today reminds us that when we evangelize and we go out on mission and we try to share the good news with our friends and the people that we encounter not us, but they encounter Christ. Matthew chapter 13, 16 to 21. It says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is he who is sent greater than he who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them. I am not speaking of you all. I know whom I have chosen. It is that the scripture may be fulfilled. He who ate my bread was lifted his seal against me. I tell you this now before it takes place, that when it does take place, you may believe that I am he. Truly I say to you, he who receives anyone whom I send receives me, and he who receives me receives him who sent me." End of reading. Here, Jesus was even referring to Judas, the one who betrayed him, the one who lifted up his heel against him, reminding them that, if this comes to pass that somebody betrays me, remember this moment. Somebody betrayed me, who was one of our disciples, one of my followers. But then at the same time, he encourages the disciples that later on would become faithful to him and would stick with him when he reveals himself as the risen Lord. And he tells them, "Truly I say to you, he who receives anyone whom I send receives me, and he who receives me receives him who sent me." It is encouragement that if we remain faithful as disciples, and if we follow Christ, every time we act like a disciple and we serve him, people will see Christ in us. Sometimes I'm humbled by the fact that the students that I teach, sometimes they forget what I teach, they forget what I say, but they remember the kindness that I show them. And they often tell me that they end up thinking about God. One time, one of my students approached me and said, "Sir, I don't know what it is, but I come to your class and I've heard the things that you teach us. It's not something new. And yet because of the atmosphere in our class, I end up desiring to go to the chapel and pray." It's very humbling because I realize it's not my eloquence that's helping people appreciate what I teach, but it seems it's the Lord himself working through me, a humble servant. Because Jesus is right. They who receive me, receiving not me, but receiving Christ. So let's be confident. Let's be faithful to the Lord as disciples. And remember, our faithfulness will allow people to encounter Christ in us. He who receives me would receive the one that I sent. Remember this. Jesus is sending you. Go. Bring him to others. God bless us.